Coming up on the county line, Mr. Las Vegas makes an appearance on the Westminster stage.
Reporters Shayna, Marty, and Alex Hines head back to Grove City to get a closer look at the skies.
And a new segment debuts on the county line as the Out to Lunch crew visits a new restaurant right here in New Wilmington. We're live.
We're local.
The county line starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the County Line. I'm Nikki Pizar.
And I'm David Gregg. Westminster College's 40th anniversary season of the Celebrity Series kicks off tonight in style. Most people recognize Wayne Newton as a singing sensation, but dancing might become his new forte. The Las Vegas legend is currently competing on ABC's Dancing with the Stars. Tonight, however, he will perform on a new auditorium at 8 o'clock. Not wanting to be eliminated from the television show, Newton will practice his dance steps in the Westminster Dance Theater after his performance. An ABC News crew will film the star as he gets ready for next week's show.
Reporters Shayna, Marty, and Alex Hines visited Silent Wings Soaring in Grove City last week to learn more about gliding. This week, Shayna decided to try out the experience for herself.
Shayna and Alex are here to tell us more about their experience. Guys?
This weekend, the Experimental Aircraft Association Chapter 161 is hosting their annual fly-in at the Grove City Airport.
The event starts at 8 o'clock Sunday morning. Aircraft will be on display and a car cruise will also take place.
But tonight, Shayna and I go back to the airport where I talk to some of the people who go on glider rides.
And I'll show you my own personal gliding experience.
Anybody taking a walk down Marcus?
landing wasn't as bad as I thought. Just bump on the ground. Once I was back on the ground, I had just one word to describe my gliding experience. Awesome! Reporting for the county line, I'm Shayna Marty. For more information, Soaring.com.
Or you can give the call 748-5530. Dave and Nikki?
Thank you, guys. Coming up next on the County Line, the Out to Lunch crew tests their taste buds at a new Greek restaurant in town.
And the County Line's Danielle Adams will take a look at the Westminster soccer team on Titantown Sports. Stay tuned, more County Line is on the way.
Check it out, man. What is that? It looks like someone's belly. Yeah, probably lost it walking on the beach. Man, just leave it. Let's go.
Like sports? Want to be part of all the action? Join Westminster College's Broadcast Communications Department.
2, 1, it's over! The Lady Titans win! The Lady Titans win!
Ever dreamed of being on ESPN or calling the big game on the radio? Then the Broadcast Communications Department at Westminster College is definitely for you.
3 to the 8!
At Westminster, you will get hands-on experience from your freshman year to your senior year and receive instruction from the best faculty in the field.
There are so many opportunities here at Westminster, and the professors are constantly getting you involved in any projects that they can. They really help you out in your field.
So turn your love for sports into a career with Westminster College's Broadcast Communications Department. To find out more, surf the web to titanradio.net.
New Wilmington will be filled with more than just Amish buggies, as the alumni from the school will be coming back for homecoming. The festivities will begin with the parade along Market Street at 10:30 in the morning. Each fraternity and sorority has a float in the parade, all featuring different kinds of board games. Following the parade, the Titans will take on the Grove City Wolverines at 1:30 at Berry Stadium. Before the game, the homecoming court will be announced, and at halftime, the King and Queen will be crowned.
Westminster is not the only school celebrating this week. Wilmington High School is also celebrating homecoming this weekend. The Wilmington Greyhounds are now 3-1. The team takes on the Reynolds Raiders this Friday night. During the game, the Wilmington homecoming court will be announced, and Wilmington's homecoming dance is scheduled for Saturday night.
And if you like the taste of gyros and baklava, then take a look at this next segment. The Out to Lunch crew will feature a new local restaurant every week. This week, reporters Shayna Marty and Megan Alexander start by trying out New Wilmington's newest restaurant, Jimmy's Corner.
I walked down Market Street recently. We'll realize that Isley's isn't here anymore.
It's now been replaced by Jimmy's Corner. Let's go inside and see what they're all about.
When walking into Jimmy's Corner, the first thing you will notice are the bright green walls, along with the Greek artwork hanging throughout the restaurant.
The warm and friendly atmosphere makes it a great place to bring your friends and family to enjoy a nice meal.
Restaurant owner Artie Kristoff tells us how you can get a full stomach without paying a large price.
Well, we have a great variety in the menu. As you can see, we have probably around 120 total items that you can choose from, and the prices vary anywhere from $1.16 to about $7.
Artie says this is his first time owning a restaurant. However, his family, originally from Greece, is already in the business and own many local restaurants that may sound familiar.
Chuck Tanner's, Bill's, going all the way to Shenango, Jimmy's, and downtown Newcastle Hazel's.
We decided to take a look at the menu to see what Jimmy's had to offer. You can find everything from hot dogs and chili fries to gyros and salads.
Server Aaron Gattano tells us what people seem to enjoy the most on the menu.
I'd have to say all the lamb dishes are pretty popular.
And what's the most popular dessert? None other than the Greek dish baklava.
It's a lot of layers of thin dough, and in the middle it has honey and nuts, and it's baked in the oven for about a couple of hours at a low temperature.
Jimmy's Corner has only been open since mid-August, but already business is booming.
busiest time is usually during lunch or in the mornings during the week, and Saturday and Sunday is busy all day.
So next time you're looking for a tasty alternative to the calf or the tub, take a walk down the street to Jimmy's Corner for something good to eat.
Reporting for the County Line, I'm Shayna Marty.
And I'm Megan Alexander, and you're out to lunch.
So David Gregg, have you ever had baklava before?
Actually, I have. My fiance's mom makes it for me whenever I ask her to. So if anyone has a sweet tooth, I would highly recommend it.
Definitely. I mean, I'm not really one to try a lot of exotic foods. I've never really had Greek food, but I mean, after seeing that, you know, it makes me want to go to Jimmy's Corner.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Homecoming is not only important to the students and to the faculty, but also to the hundreds of alumni that visit the campus every year. The County Line's Christina Rosetto sits down with Director of Alumni Relations, Mary James, to talk about what alumni can expect for this year's homecoming.
Good evening. I'm here with Mary James. She's the director of the Alumni Relations Office here on Westminster College campus, and she's also an alumnus of Westminster. Welcome, Mary. Thank you for being here this evening.
Glad to be here.
We're talking about homecoming because Westminster's homecoming is coming up tomorrow and through the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So we'd like to talk about, you know, what makes homecoming such an important event around a small town and a small school such as Westminster?
Well, it's a big celebration time for everybody, those of us on campus and the alumni that look forward to coming back to campus. Just a time to reconnect. And in a small town like this, a lot of our neighbors are very aware of it. The town really enjoys and appreciates the homecoming parade. Mm-hmm. If you take a look Saturday morning, who's out along the streets, you'll see a lot of the town families out as well.
Does Westminster usually, you were talking about how alumni get into it and, you know, the town folk too, but do you usually get a good alumni turnout? Is it more recent graduates, or do people who graduated, 30, 40 years ago seem to still come back year after year?
We have a nice mix of ages, actually. We have a strong response through all age spans. As a matter of fact, we were just working on final details and realizing that we've outgrown the space for our 15th reunion luncheon on campus on Saturday, and we're making some arrangements for that. So great response from our younger alums, and then our older alums that we honor through our Golden Tower Society, recognizing alumni of 50 years or more. We've got a wonderful response, and they're filling their space for lunch as well. Actually, almost a little overfull. So
okay, yeah, obviously a good turnout for everyone involved.
That's right. And then down by the football game, lots of folks down there, all ages. That's a big social spot that weekend.
You were talking about the luncheon and honoring like older members and stuff. Do you do any other events for the alumni? Any maybe like tailgating things before the football game, or any other coordinated events to keep people occupied through the weekend?
Sure. There's lots of things available. We'll start out actually Friday afternoon with some hospitalities that open. Actually, some of the faculty be opening up their classrooms for alums that haven't been in the classroom in a while and would like to sit in on a class. They can do that. We have some alumni speakers that will be on campus on Friday afternoon. Tea with the Books, hosted by Friends of the Library, will be an opportunity for alumni to see what's going on in McGill Library. Many of the students are aware of that right now.
Oh, right, with all the construction and everything.
That's right.
So, does the Alumni Center really get busy around this time, or you kind of just go all year, or is homecoming especially like the crunch time of the year for you guys there?
Homecoming is a real crunch time for us, no doubt about that. We've got lots of events this weekend, hundreds and hundreds of alumni coming back. But we do keep busy throughout the year. Some of the students on campus may remember events hosted by the Student Alumni Association last spring, some alumni connections and networking events. So we're working year-round to provide opportunities for alumni to connect, for students to be connecting with alums, and lots of neat things.
You were talking about events, but it's not just the Alumni Center, right? Maybe share for the viewers out there, they might think that this is just the Alumni Center working with the alumni to try and get them to come back, but you actually work with a number of student organizations on campus, correct?
Yes, we do, and we're really pleased that they're so helpful. We work with our Student Alumni Association. They help with a lot of shuttling alumni around campus, helping us host and greet alumni as they return to campus. The Student Government Association is also very helpful. As a matter of fact, this year they've put together, and this is the second year, homecoming T-shirts that pick up on the parade theme, our board games, and we work with the homecoming committee that on campus is made up of representatives from a variety of student organizations, and we appreciate all they do to help us welcome alumni back.
Maybe talk a little bit about, for the viewers who don't know, talk a little bit about the theme. Do you know who decides the theme or when it's picked up? Because we knew pretty fairly early on that this was going to be board games, but then you kind of get the publicity thing into it. So maybe tell the viewers out there who might not know about the information on it.
Okay. Actually, our student committee that works with Homecoming will meet for next year. We'll meet this spring term. So in the spring term, we get together with students, work with them to look what's happening from the alumni side of Homecoming, look what's happening on the student side of Homecoming, and for the parade, we'd like to find a theme that's going to be very visible, visually appealing on the floats. So board games this year was an easy one for that. So we'll know by the end of this year what we're doing for next year. Then we work with some thematic aspects as well for our printed pieces that we send out to alumni. And this year we used Opening the Doors of Westminster. So we were open doors, and that provided some nice graphics for us for printed materials.
With the alumni coming in for this weekend, many might be coming from out of town. Do you help them maybe coordinate where they're going to stay, or where they'll be able to access on campus, like for eating or something like that? Is that what the Alumni Center kind of does?
We do provide a list of facilities for lodging in the area that are available. And then we help them find their way around campus, offer campus shuttles, and get them a full schedule of events in advance so they have plenty of time to get their travel plans made.
Well, we've been talking with Mary James today, and she is the Director of Alumni Relations. Mary, I'd like to thank you for being here. And homecoming weekend is this weekend. The football game will be at 1 o'clock on Saturday with the parade beginning at 10:30, so stop on by if you can.
Who is that guy? I don't know! Hurry up and we're behind us! I know!
Come on, get up!
407 years ago.
Think history is a little scary? Then log on to loc.gov and see how much fun it can be. The Library of Congress at loc.gov.
Everyone should have a plan for what to do if disaster strikes. And if you have pets, you should have one for them too. Always have up-to-date identification on your dog or cat. Keep current color photos of your pets with the rest of your emergency supplies. If you know danger is coming, get your dogs on a leash and your cats in a carrier as soon as possible. Remember, your pet is safest when it's with you. This message brought to you on behalf of the Lawrence County Humane Society.
Check it out, man.
What is that?
It looks like someone's belly. Yeah, probably lost it walking on the beach.
Man, just leave it. Let's go.
Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to Titantown Sports. I'm Danielle Adams. With the Wilmington Greyhounds looking to improve to 4-1 on the season this Friday, Titantown Sports reporter Dave Gregg stops by practice to talk about the upcoming game.
Won this week with a victory over Reynolds. However, the players think that this is more than just another Friday night game. Wilmington may be practicing with a little extra bounce in their step this week, not only for another Friday night game under the lights, but to impress the home crowd for homecoming.
Homecoming is always a big game. There's going to be lots of fans there. They're going to be excited. We just have to go out there and play our hardest and win.
The running attack has been a big part of the Hounds' offense this season. However, it's come not from one Burns, but two.
It's great, growing up with, your little brother your whole life. You guys know each other pretty well. I think he compliments me pretty well, and I compliment him, and he learns from me, and I definitely learn from him too. I think we make each other better, so it's awesome.
Don't be surprised if you see some new faces when the Hounds put up a big score.
Yeah, well, anytime you are ahead by that much, it definitely helps, your team even for the next year. People don't realize is they get actual game experience, and so when their turn does come around, they're not brand new starters.
Reporting for Titantown Sports, I'm David Gregg.
All right, now let's take a look at some more football with this week's Game of the Week. All right, here we go. Game of the week, Montour versus Newcastle. Christian Wilson runs it back, making the score 7-0 in the first quarter. Maris Chandler runs it down for the touchdown, tying things back up. Number 6, Mike Bonjavingo, looks like he's tackled. No, he's up, he's running. He could go all the way, making the score 14-7 Newcastle. All right, here we go. Wilson again with the ball, goes untouched for 30 yards to tie the game back up. Brian Rice says, all right, let's take charge. No, excuse me. Here we go. 23, running it down for a 75-yard punt return. But the Newcastle Hurricanes would miss the extra point. Crucial point in this game. Here he goes, running down. And, here we go. All right, here we go. He's going to take charge. Deep pass. Could be good. Intercepted. And the Montour would run that ball all the way down to the 2-yard line. Would go on to score and win that game 28-20. All right, from one style of football to another, let's see what the Westminster soccer team has been up to this week. Okay, here we go. Jason Lundmark trying to run down his opponent. Side tackle, not in our house, buddy. Here we go. Baldwin Wallace trying to score. Whoa, freshman goalie. Mike Codita comes in to save the day. Baldwin Wallace trying to set it up again. There's Codita once again. Denied. Here we go. Andy Saporito sets it up for number 8. Steve Armaheiser, he shoots, he scores, but that one goal would not be enough to keep the men alive as they fall 3-1 to the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets. All right, despite a loss on Tuesday, the soccer team still has a winning record, and this could be because of a few key players. And this brings us to the SAC Athlete of the Week. Senior Garrett Horvath, the men's soccer player, has earned the honors this week with his hat trick in the 6-0 win over Penn State Beaver. This brings Horvath to a team-high 6 goals on the season. Another Westminster soccer player earning honors this week is junior defender Chris Ellwanger. He was named PAC Defensive Player of the Week, and this is the second time in his career Ellwanger has won this award. All right, now most 20-year-old college students dream of becoming Olympic athletes, but one Westminster student's dreams may be coming true. Junior Danielle McCullough is heading to the Olympic trials this weekend to qualify in archery. We caught up with her earlier this week, and she explains how the trials work and what her future plans include.
Olympic trials are a little different this time than it was in previous years. Such as we're doing a 3-step trial process, in which the first one is coming up this week in Georgia, and that's where they're cutting the top 16, which is called the shadow team, and then they get to train until April, and then they cut to the top 8, and then in May they're cutting the top 4, and that's the 3 that get to go, plus the alternate, and they get to train together out in the Olympic Training Center out in Chula Vista. I'm going to finish this semester for sure, and if I make the top 16, I'll probably be moving out to Chula Vista to train out at the training center for next semester.
Wow, so what about... All right, Titan fans, have no fear. You've got plenty of opportunities this weekend to see your favorite players in action. The men's soccer takes on St. Vincent on Saturday at 2, followed by the women's matchup against the Bearcats. It's homecoming weekend, and that means the football team is at home fighting to keep their winning record alive. They duke it out with Grove City beginning at 1:30 at Bury Stadium. And if you're in the mood for an adventure, the volleyball team serves it up in a doubleheader against Thomas More and Franklin. The match starts at 1:30 Saturday at Thomas More. And finally, the women's tennis team will travel to Penn State Barron on Sunday to battle the Barron Lions. The match begins at 2:30. And that brings us to our extra innings. Pittsburgh Steelers are in action this weekend as they make their way out to Arizona. Pressure's on Tomlin to prove he's worthy of being head coach as the Steelers play against 2 former coaches, Russ Grimm and Ken Wisenhunt. The Browns are at home against Baltimore, and if they keep things up, surprisingly, they will keep their winning season running. Another Cleveland team doing well this year is the Indians. They've had a bit of a comeback season this year. The AL champs hit the dirt with the Mariners in the finale of a 3-day series at Seattle. With a win tonight, they will be that much closer to beating the league record for a number of wins in a season. The game time, 10-10 tonight. And finally, the Pirates and the Cardinals square off in PNC Park tomorrow night at 7:05. And that's all we have for this week. Next week, we'll have the game of the week with Union and Shenango, along with more scores and highlights. As always, stay tuned. More County Line after the break.
Keeping my car regularly tuned helps reduce air pollution, and also saves me money on gas and repairs. But it's not just about saving money. It's about what you do with it.
Your wax, Environmental defense. Get green. Go to getgreen.com.
One day these rats were playing in the woods. Wanted some matches, and that's no good. So if a gorgeous force is what you desire, don't play with matches, don't play with fire. Yeah.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Fire.
Properly inflating my tires burns less fuel and saves me money on gas. Yeah, I'm saving Mother Nature from pollution, but more importantly, she saved me $11. Ow!
Environmental defense. Get green. Go to getgreen.com.
There's a better way to have fun with history. Visit americaslibrary.gov. Log on, play around, learn something.
We apologize for our technical difficulties earlier when we were trying to show you Alex's and Shayna's glider package.
But don't worry, we fixed the problem. And we don't want you to miss out on their experience, so let's head back to the skies.
To Silent Wings Soaring at the Grove City Airport, where we told you how gliders work and also introduced you to some of the people who pilot them. Tonight, we'll look at gliding from a different perspective, that of the people who take a ride in them. Bob Myers was given a glider ride as a birthday present from his wife. He was given the chance to fly almost 1 mile in the air. This was his first trip in a glider, and he had a great time.
It was absolutely great. Taking off is, you're up before the pool plane, and you're up in the air before that, you know, and once you do get up there, it's almost like watching a movie of somebody flying over a city like little kids or whatever, and it's exhilarating. It really is.
Although the chance to fly in a glider came as a surprise, the idea for Bob to fly was not.
Actually, it was my idea. I've been wanting to do it for a long time, and like I said, we went past a few times, and Nancy came up with a surprise for my birthday.
The concept of being up in the sky with absolutely nothing but air keeping one in flight may be scary to some, but for Myers, it was nothing to worry about.
No, I was completely relaxed. Noel was a good driver, if you call him a driver or a pilot, and we talked the whole time about different things in the glider, and it was fun.
Shayna also got a chance to take a ride in the glider, and she'll tell you about it next.
If you're looking for a breathtaking adventure, then you need to try gliding. These unpowered aircraft soar through the sky using thermals, which are updrafts of warm air. Silent Wings Soaring, located in Grove City, gives people the opportunity to ride in a glider or learn how to fly one. Gliding instructor Steve Rule explained how these gliders fly without engines.
Once we release, we fly around just like the birds do. If you see a bird not flapping his wings, he's soaring. That's what we do.
I was nervous at first to go for a ride, but after talking with Steve, he convinced me that it was completely safe and something I did not want to miss out on.
They make excellent trainers, very safe, very forgiving, and very good instructional vehicles.
We're going to go up in this glider right here, and once we get up to 3,000 feet, we are going to disconnect the cable, and once the cable is disconnected, we will just glide back down to Earth. After being buckled in, the workers explained how the controls worked, and it was time for takeoff. Being as high as 3,000 feet in the sky is an amazing experience, and once disconnected from the tow plane, it was surprisingly quiet and pleasant. And the landing wasn't as bad as I thought, just a small thump on the ground. Once I was back on the ground, I had just one word to describe my gliding experience.
Awesome!
That's all the time we have for this week's County Line. Be sure to tune in next week.
Have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Bye.